Awesome YouTuber for creators who don't know. Receiving your content. What's up, guys? Hopefully this is working now. Hopefully you have a good thumbnail to look at. Let me minimize this. Actually, let me make sure I can fit on here. Yeah, I should be able to fit on here. Okay, we are live. I just checked the voting. It was tied 50-50, of course. So I didn't know when to stream, whether to do it now or wait until tomorrow. And so we're just going to do it now. So this is kind of a stream from the other day. And yeah, so we'll just wait to see if some people get in. And I'm going to try to keep this stream to like 15 minutes. Just because I don't think anyone likes to watch a long stream. And so that's what she said. But anyways, so I got my, for those just tuning in. Hey, what's up? We got a couple people just tuning in. Maybe one of you was the one that just voted on the post. It just won 3-2. The majority of the people wanted today for the stream, and so that's what we're doing. So hopefully you can see me on the right hand side of your screen, and you can see some information on the screen here on the left. So let me know if you guys can see everything. I'm going to try to pull up the chat here on my phone so I can chat with you guys. Let's see, what do I do here? Okay, my live stream's showing up. Portfolio's looking good. There's an ad, awesome. I would watch it if I wasn't myself. Oh, but it didn't let me skip it anyways. But as you guys, everyone knows, we do make a little bit of ad revenue if people watch ads, and that's how we make money for the most part. Although I don't make a lot yet. Hey everyone. Harish, what up? So is this continuation to where it was stopped? No, this is not. I'm going to be working on that video. I got my importing. I had to shut off the computer and turn it back on, but the import is working now. So I got the footage in the timeline. It's like a 20-minute video, so I have to edit it and cut it down as much as possible because I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of YouTubers, they don't edit a lot. They leave in all the the long pauses. They just kind of leave it in there. They don't bother editing it out. And I don't like to do that because that time adds up. And that's just more time you're wasting. And I don't want to waste your time. So I edit a lot out because I tend to say a lot. I tend to pause from talking a lot. Sometimes I'll have to like catch my breath or like swallow because my mouth gets dry. And then it just sounds weird on the microphone. So I just cut that part out. So I go through it very meticulously in editing. It takes me usually at least a good hour to edit like a short 6 or 7 minute video, and then like I would say every couple minutes of footage it adds another like 20 minutes to editing. So what is today live about then? Okay, so today what I'm talking about is my portfolio. So if you look at the left side of your screen, these are all my current positions as of February 5th 2019. And so you can see exactly what positions I'm in. Not exactly. I didn't put all the dates and like all the calls, but most of them are the same from what I had a couple months ago, like that I've uploaded already. So most of those are the same. So the ones you might not see on there are maybe the SPY puts and the QQQ puts, which I'm getting wrecked on. I'm down pretty much 100% on all of those. So that kind of sucks. So yeah. These are my current positions as of now. My largest position is, if you can see on the bottom there, I don't know how small it is on your screen. It might be kind of small actually, dang it. Well, anyways, I'll highlight it here. Hopefully you guys can see it, but it's my, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't think about that. It is my Tesla call options. I have a bunch of them. I have 12 calls currently, and they total up to about 33,000. They actually went up a couple grand today thanks to Tesla stock going up. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's my largest position. So about $33,600 for all my Tesla calls added together. That's my largest position right now in my portfolio. It's about a third of my total portfolio, so you can do the math. See how bad I'm getting destroyed. But my second largest position, which I spelled incorrectly, yeah, this will definitely help if you guys are on a computer, but if not, it's okay. Second largest position is Canopy Growth. I have about $20,257 in that position, and a lot of those are longer term calls just because I feel like 2019 is going to be a pretty good year for cannabis. I think a lot of people are going to be buying it this year. So that's one of the reasons why that's my second largest position. And other things, that's pretty much it. The Kronos puts that I just bought like the last 3 days, I'm up on one of them. And I mentioned before like how crazy the chart went. It's just going straight up, and it can't go up forever, so I was expecting it to pull back, and it did pull back today a little bit, like 6% or a little like under 7%. Then it went back up, and then it came back down. So it was a crazy day today for them. I don't know what was going on. I mentioned earlier, someone with a large enough bankroll could be manipulating that stock if they're buying enough of them, buying enough shares. It's definitely possible. We saw that with Tilray. I know Kronos probably has a lot more shares, so it's harder to do. But yeah, what's up, Thomas? How's it going? Thanks. Yeah, I still have those Budweiser calls because I was still speculating that they're going to make some sort of cannabis partnership. I know last I checked, they're starting to come around to the idea. I don't know if they made any deals yet, though, with anybody. I could be wrong. Those JD calls that I have, they're worth like nothing, so there's no point in me selling them. Universal Display, I'm actually up on one of my calls on Universal Display. I have like a March expiration, like $100 strike, and I'm like $9 into the money right now. And my plan for that is to hold right before earnings, because I'm noticing, and some of you guys who trade options might have already realized this, but a lot of stocks will go up right before earnings almost all the time. Whether the earnings are good or bad, you don't know, but the hype drives up the stock a lot. And I'm going to hold one of my OLED calls, and I'm going to sell it right before earnings. That way I can almost guarantee, like knock on wood, I can almost guarantee a little bit of higher return, and then it won't matter after that whether the earnings results are good or bad. So I'm going to try to play that hype, that volatility, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's my plan for that. I also have, so you see I have 10 Aurora cannabis calls, which I'm going to do the exact same thing. So today was not great for them, but they do report earnings very soon. I believe next week. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's very soon. I plan on holding those until the day before, and then I'm thinking if I'm up still on them, I'm going to, well, probably most likely I'm going to sell about 4 calls, I think. I'm going to sell 4, keep 6, and just hope for a good earnings report. Because I still got a lot of time on those, so I don't need to dump them right away. But at one point recently I was profiting on them. I'm pretty close to even right now. So I'm going to hopefully get a profit, sell 4 calls, lock in some more profit, and then those 6 I'll just gamble with a little bit more. So that's my plan for those. PayPal, I was going to do that with PayPal, and I waited too long. The market closed, and of course earnings weren't great, and the stocks fell down. So I'm just going to hold on to those a little bit longer because I have a longer expiration on those. And Tesla, the only thing I'm worried about with Tesla is I have like 2 positions that expire in March, and I need them to get like close to 350 for me to even break even on those. So those I'm a little worried about, but I do have a lot longer positions, and all my strikes are 400 and below. So I'm not too worried about Tesla. And I don't know if I mentioned this the other day, but they did make that acquisition of Maxwell Technologies or something like that. They're a battery technology company. Huge. Oh my gosh, you guys got to check out the Hyperchange video about that. He made a video like as soon as that news broke. So if you don't watch Hyperchange, check him out. He breaks down like crazy, like a lot of the earnings calls for Tesla. He even like talks to Elon on calls, like he did once, I think. And now he created that website called Say, where people can like register and verify how many shares they have, and they can vote. and basically crowdsource questions to get asked on the conference calls. And like 3 of them got asked on the conference call last week. So that was awesome. He's doing a crazy good job at getting our voices heard as Tesla share owners. Even though I don't own shares, I just own options. But you get the idea. So anyways, he made a video about that acquisition. And a lot of people have made the video about a video since then, but I haven't watched any other videos about it. But he's usually the only one I watch when it comes to Tesla-related news. In addition, though, Now You Know is the other YouTube channel that I watch, which I have up here on my screen. In fact, I don't know if I could bring it up here. Yeah, I have. So I was researching like a better workflow for my video editing. So that is why I have that up on here. So I'm gonna show you the Now You Know channel right now. So I'm gonna go Now You Know. Okay, so this is the channel I was talking about. I mentioned them many times. They're usually a little more late on the news when it comes to everything because they make long videos, and I'm sure it takes forever to get prepared for them. So, I mean, their news is always like late, like me. They're always a little bit late to the party when it comes to the news, especially. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm the worst. But Hyperchange is usually pretty quick. He's on the money. These guys go more in depth, but they're a little bit later. But they do a great job at breaking stuff, earnings down too. I forget where I was going with this. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I forget where I was going with this. But anyways, maybe I'll remember in a minute. But one of their playlists that I want you guys to watch, just if you're like me and someone who if you're trying to make goals for yourself in life, they made this really cool series called Mind Walk. And I'll just pause this video here. But it's really, really good. I would really strongly recommend, and they didn't ask me to promote their channel. Like they don't know who I am, but there's only 4 videos, and they get progressively shorter for the most part. Really, really good videos if you want to kind of plan your next 5 years of your life, like financially, just where you want to be in your life in 5 years. They make a really good video playlist to watch that kind of explains why you should do it and how you can do it, and they walk you through literally everything. And the guy Zach, he's the dad of Jesse. He's the narrator in these videos. I would strongly recommend them. And again, let me if you haven't heard of Hyperchange, let me show you their channel. Hyperchange. So that's this one. So he makes his own charts. He actually is working on his own chart app or website right now called Hypercharts. Really cool. Looks like he just uploaded another video. So he's crazy. He works really hard. He puts a lot of time into these videos. But this ultra capacitors and dry electrodes, watch that too if you have time. I am super bullish on Tesla. Oh my gosh. Just because of that. Let me read some of these comments. I got Crone puts today. Cool. Okay. Hopefully it works out. I do think they're going to go down a little bit more. That's just my personal opinion. I think they're going to come down a little bit more because that was a huge run they went on. But yeah, so watch this thing, and I might make a video on how to set up a more detailed 5-year plan, because I'm started to make my own, and I made one for each year, and then I'm making one for each month to make it real detailed. And I'll show you guys how I did it. I did it on my Mac though, so I might need to get some screen recording software for that, even though my computer's super old and might not even be able to handle it. If not, I'll try to find a way to import it. I'll just maybe import some screenshots or something. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But anyways, yeah, Tesla, that battery thing, holy crap, is just, I can't believe it, because they don't make acquisitions very often. And so, yeah, it's very exciting, very, very exciting. Harish says, did you buy any calls right after December 24th, Christmas Eve? No, I don't think I did. That was one of the reasons I took such a big hit. I didn't time it right. I was not, at that point in time, we had lost so much money. I was not expecting a rebound at all. So I think I don't know if I might have just bought puts at that point, but I wasn't buying a lot of calls. I wasn't at all confident with the market. And yeah, I mean, the way the analysts were talking on TV, it was like everyone was saying there was going to be a rally Santa Claus rally. One guy was like, or many people were like, yeah, 5 to 7% in December we could see. And no, we didn't see like any of that. So, I mean, and I was believing them the whole time, so I lost a lot of money. I'm trying to make it back. I'm feeling a little bit better now based on what the actually I didn't hear, was the Fed meeting today? I wasn't even paying attention, but it might be tomorrow. But overall, I think the Fed is a little more dovish now, so it could help stocks. I know Powell and Trump just had a meeting. I don't know how that went, but yeah, I've been kind of behind on everything, as you can tell. But let me just move on and talk about this time management app called Forest. This is an app I use. I'm trying to use more, but it looks like, so it looks like this. I mean, hopefully, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm posting on my screen, but this is an app where you can basically time yourself if you're trying to like do some work, trying to be productive. Let's say you want to get through your emails. You want like 20 minutes of uninterrupted time. You can set a timer on there. It won't let you use your phone, so that's why I like this app so much. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's called Forest, Forest. And what's cool is you can add friends on there and kind of compete with each other to see who's the most productive. And one of the things about being productive and like getting goals accomplished is having some sort of support group, like people to kind of cheer you on and egg you on and like keep you on track. I've been doing a lot of reading on self-help books on like time management, being productive, and one of the things that's the most important is having other people doing it with you. And that's probably the one thing that's missing from me right now, which I feel like is really hurting me, because I do really well when I work with other people. And so I wanted to throw that out there idea to you, the 9 people that are watching. If you want to check out that app, and you can look me up somehow, I'll try to find a way that you can search for me. But you could just maybe type in my name. Maybe I'll have to like put an email out there that you can find me from. But anyways, you can compete with friends and see how much like work other people are getting done, and I think that'll be kind of cool to do. And so I wanted to throw that idea out there to see if any of you guys wanted to do that with me, just kind of keep each other on track and kind of keep each other accountable. Because I don't know if any of you guys are self-employed, but it's hard to be productive when you're by yourself, because there's no one to tell you to, stay on task. One of the things I struggle with most. But yeah, so I mean, the last thing I put here, I'm mentioning my private Discord group. It's for the Patreon patrons. Right now, I'm giving like almost all access for even the dollar patrons, but eventually I'm going to close that off because there's going to be too many people at some point, and it'll be hard to keep up. So right now, though, anyone who joins on my Patreon can like chat with me every day in the Discord and ask questions, whatever you want to do. I'm pretty active on there. I'm trying to get more active, but I'm trying to balance it with the editing. But obviously, once I get caught up, I'll be on there a lot. And for the $5 patrons, I post every time I make a trade. I post it immediately in the Discord. I post what trade I did and what the price of the stock was trading at that exact time. So yeah. Oh, let me go back to the stream because I'm seeing some comments here. V bottom has been a shocker. Oh, you're talking about Visa? Oh, I haven't even looked that up. Probably should look that up. Visa was one of the companies I wanted to get into this year because of the dividends, and I was expecting a recession, so I thought Visa would kind of be more stable. But I haven't looked at that. Tesla calls will pay off. I really do hope so. I really do hope so. I mean, the things that Tesla has going for them. Okay, let me just list off a quick list of what Tesla has going for them right now in 2019, and why I think the stock could easily go to $400 by the end of the year. I mean, if not sooner. One, let's just remember they already hit like $380 a share before we realized how much the demand was for their Model 3s, or maybe we, like in the beginning, before they even started selling Model 3s, their stock went up to almost $380 a share, right around $380. So it's very feasible they could do that now that they actually are profitable. So I don't understand why they can't go to that price, because they were there before they were even profitable in the quarters consistently. Now they've profited 2 quarters in a row. So I think their stock could easily get back. Number two, They're selling a Model Y coming soon and a pickup coming soon. If they just unveil one of those, if they unveil just one of those cars this year, that always makes their stock rally, I think. And it's just going to be phenomenal. And those are the two biggest markets, I think, that they haven't really hit yet. They hit the SUV market with their Model X, but it was like the luxury SUV market. Most people can't afford that Model X. And so the Model Y is going to, and Elon even said it could have up to 50% more demand than the Model 3. So we have the fact that their stock price already hit 380, so I think they could easily do it again now that they're profitable. Model Y, we have their Tesla pickup. How's it going, Saibu? What's up? Where do you think we go up from here? Up, down, sideways? I think in the general terms, a little bit up, just because it depends on what the Fed's doing. I think Tesla's going to go up regardless. I really do think Tesla's going to go up regardless. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of keeping my eyes on things. I forgot to put that my third largest position is actually AT&T. I have about 18,000 something in just AT&T stock because they pay really good dividends. I just got dividends a couple days ago, like $300 something worth. So they added like 11 more shares to my portfolio. And so that's my third largest position. It is a stock, and so it's a lot safer than options. But let me get back to Tesla. So the fourth thing, I mean, there's a lot. But the fourth thing is the Semi. I mean, they're still getting pre-orders from the Semi from other companies. And I know Pepsi is investing a lot of money into that. So there's so much that they got going on. Number 5, the fact that if they are profitable for 2 more quarters, there's 2 more quarters. If Tesla can post a profit in Q1 2019 and Q2 2019, they'll be eligible to join the S&P 500, which is crazy. I mean, Tesla would be the 3rd U.S. automaker in the S&P 500, I believe, and Ford and GM are the other 2, but they're not doing well. Ford and GM are not doing well. Tesla is doing well, and so I think that'll be an amazing thing. And I think it was on Now You Know they mentioned that once they become in the S&P 500, a lot of large firms have to buy their stock to hold in their ETFs, because a lot of people have ETFs that track the S&P 500 index, and so if a firm is offering that to their customers as a product, like invest in our ETFs, we track the S&P 500. Well, if Tesla is in the S&P 500, they have to buy shares and they can't sell them for a certain amount of time. I don't know if there is a time requirement or if they always have to own it, but they do have to own some Tesla stock, and so that'll be like instant buying once they join the S&P. So that could happen in as little as 6 months from now, the next 2 quarters. And so that was the 5th thing I mentioned. I mean, 6, there's Shanghai factory, which they predict could be starting to produce Model Ys by the end of this year, beginning of next year. I think it might be beginning of next year, but still, there's so much. So much. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter. I think I retweeted on my Twitter. There's actually consumers, Tesla fans, who were like meeting the boat at the dock to see them unload Model 3s. Who does that? I don't know of any people getting that excited about like their Mercedes to like track the ship across the Atlantic Ocean and then meet the captain, like to say hi to him. Like, who does that? It's just, I mean, the fan base, the Tesla fans is like, it's a huge cult following. I mean, you gotta call it what it is. It's a huge following, and it's cult-like. So, I mean, and in Tesla's case, that's a good thing. So, they love the product. I don't know many companies that have that kind of a following. It's just crazy. So there's so many things that Tesla has going for them. Again, they're profitable 2 quarters in a row. They've been struggling to make profits up until now. Now it seems like they got a good handle on it. They just acquired that battery company, so that's what, 7? That's 7 things that I just listed off. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let me get back to the chat. Did you think Bitcoin will hit 10K this year? Or do I think it'll hit in 2019? No, I don't think so. I do think it could go up because right now they're like in the low 3,000s. And I did buy more Bitcoin in late November, so you'll see me talk about it in a video soon. I did buy about $1,000 worth of Bitcoin recently because it was cheap. I do think it could go up. I don't know if it'll hit 10,000 though. It's just, there's just not a lot of good press about Bitcoin. I think people just forgot about it. I don't know. It's just, like, I don't know. Bitcoin, is obviously the most popular cryptocurrency, and I think this might sound stupid, but the name is just so good. Like, if you're gonna name a cryptocurrency anything at this point, Bitcoin is like the best name. It is. It's the best name. And so they have that brand recognition. Everyone knows what Bitcoin is, and so they're in a good spot. It's gonna take adoption. That's what's gonna take. That's what's gonna take Bitcoin to the $20,000 plus level. But no one knows how to send Bitcoin. No one knows how to like share Bitcoin. No one knows how to buy Bitcoin. A lot of people don't know how to even get Bitcoin. They just know that it exists. And so until like your average friend who doesn't really invest a lot, until they start getting Bitcoin, I don't see Bitcoin growing too crazy, like we saw in 2017. I just think that hype came and went, and it's going to take a lot more to get Bitcoin back to that price. But I do think it'll get there eventually. I just think it's going to take maybe a few years at least. I don't know. I have more Bitcoin now though than I ever have, so I plan on holding that until that happens. What's up, James? How's it going? James Germain, hustle, invest, grow, and live? No, I'm just kidding. And live. The hype is real for Model 3. The hype is real for Model 3. I wish I could show you guys my Model 3. Like, I just love talking about it, but goddamn, it's expensive. It's really expensive. But if you get the base model, it's doable for more people. I think it's doable. It's probably like $600 a month, between $600 and $700 a month if you get basically like their base model. And I think a lot more people can afford that than like a Model X has to be like $1,200 or $1,300 a month. There's no way it's any cheaper than that for the Model X. It's just crazy. Yeah, I think the Model Y will be as big, if not bigger, a hit than the Model X. No, you're right. The Model Y will be a bigger hit for the sheer fact that more people can afford it. That is definitely gonna. I will bet. I don't know, enough money I can afford to bet that the Model Y will. I mean, I think the Model Y could pass the Model 3 in sales at some point. Maybe not right away, but I mean, just think of how many families would love an electric car that they could afford, that could fit all their kids in there, but have more space than a Model 3. I think a lot of people are just waiting for that vehicle. And I think a lot of people would even trade in their Model X for it just because it'll be more affordable. It'll still have a lot of room, and it'll have more range. And so, yeah, I mean, I think the Model Y is going to be a smashing hit. Tesla customers' fan base is a lot like that of Apple's. Exactly. You're exactly right. I agree. Yeah. How high do you think Tesla will reach by 2020? I think Tesla would easily hit 400. I think it could touch 400 by 2020. But it's mainly predicated on if they can unveil a car. If they can unveil any car, whether it's the pickup or the Model Y, this year, which Elon did strongly hint that this summer they could unveil the pickup. So if they unveil any car this year, easily they could go to 400, especially if they take pre-orders. Like, Jesus, if they could take pre-orders. But I think they're learning from last time. I don't think they want to overpromise this time around like they did. There's a lot of people still waiting for that $35,000 Model 3, and they're getting a little bit annoyed right now, rightfully so, because it's been over 2 years and they still can't get that price. And so I think they're going to be a little more hesitant to take pre-orders for the Model Y. But as long as they can unveil something, that's going to be huge, because the hype drives the price up like crazy. You said people may forgot about Bitcoin. I really do think people forgot about Bitcoin, because honestly, I forget constantly to check the price of Bitcoin. I usually would, before I was checking like twice a day, 3 times a day, and now I might go a couple days and I'll forget to even check the price. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not in the front, it's in the back burner of a lot of people's minds, I think, right now. James says, by the way, Bitcoin market share is going up currently. Oh, nice. That's awesome. So I hope it is. The last time I checked, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. It was like $3,300, and it was bad. Every time I see one, I have to talk to the drivers. Yeah, I haven't found a person who regretted it yet. They are so passionate about the car. Yeah, seriously, it's like when people ask me, how do you like the car? I tell them it's not my favorite car ever. It's my favorite product ever. It's the favorite thing I've ever acquired as a product. Like, it's hands down. Like, it's my most favorite thing that I own right now. That's how good it is. That's how much I like it. Um, yeah, so I just can't say enough good things about it. My favorite thing to do is preheat the car in the garage in the winter because there's no carbon monoxide coming out of the exhaust. So you can preheat your car in the garage. You don't have to worry about anything hazardous. So I've never gotten in my car while it was cold before. And so that's awesome. I think one time I forgot to turn the seat warmer on through the app and my butt was cold for like 10 seconds. But that was it. I turned the seat warmer on and it was fine. But it was still like 72 degrees in the car. You can use your app. Another thing I use it for is I pull it out of the garage without actually leaving the house. I'll just be sitting in, like, I'll stand in my kitchen, which is connected to the garage, and I'll just open the door, pull it out of the garage without getting into the car. It's so convenient. And then my third most convenient thing about it is, hands down, when I pull the car in the garage, I get out, I plug it in. It takes like 5 seconds, and all that time that you save, like from having to get out of your house, put your shoes on, coat, get in your car, drive to the gas station, like enter in your card number and all that. If you like time yourself next time you go to the gas station, see how much time it takes you, and just think about that, because you save all that time by having the capacity to plug in the garage. And that's what I tell people too. Like, you save a lot of time. Like, people don't think about that part. They're just like, oh, how much money will it cost, or how much money will you save? Like, you will save money on electricity, but you also save money on time because, yeah, you save so much time. Let's see. Saibu says, exactly, I think that car can tap into the whole SUV crossover craze. Yeah, seriously. My sister was even talking about wanting to get one, but she has kids, so she can't get a Model 3 and feasibly, like, shove them in there because they're going to destroy it. Not really, they're not going to destroy it, but they're just going to, like, take up a lot of space, and, so I think a Model Y would be much more up her alley because it'll be more affordable and stuff like that. But, has the recent cold affected the range? Yeah, the cold sucks. Okay, so if you live in a climate where you do get cold winters, you would definitely need to get the long range, because you can lose, depending on what type of driving you're doing. If you're doing a lot of stopping and waiting at lights and you're not actually driving a lot, you do lose a lot of range because of the cold, because the battery needs to constantly being like heated. Like, it needs to be at a good temperature to operate, and obviously you need to be warm, so you use a lot of energy, and so you lose like 40% in the coldest of winter. Like, I'm talking about like 0 degrees, 10 degrees Fahrenheit or colder, you lose the most range. But when it's like 20 degrees and warmer, it's like 30 degrees, like today was like 30 degrees, it's really not that bad. And then when it's like 40 degrees and higher, you don't lose much at all. So yeah, it's just the coldest of cold. If you live in a climate that's super cold, you definitely want to get the long range. But yeah, Tesla will be 420 in 2020. That would be epic if they hit. Dude, when they hit 420, I feel like so many people are gonna just have a good laugh because of that tweet last year. I think that'll be so hilarious because they haven't hit it yet. But I do think 2020 is. It'd be even more funny if they hit on April 20th, but I don't want to wait that long. So I'm really hoping they do it before then. But that would be funny if they hit 420 on 420. That'll be hilarious. Can we be able to charge the Tesla battery in 5 minutes like we fill gas for a long drive? Okay, no. So that's the one thing you cannot do. So if you're going on, but it really only affects you if you're going on a road trip. If you're coming home, it only takes 5 seconds to plug in, and then you're not driving your car anyway. So by the time you actually need to get your car again, you most likely will have a full tank. So if you commute and come home and plug in at home, it's like getting in your car always having a full tank every single day. So that's another huge convenience. The only time you'll have to wait more is if you're going on a road trip. Then yes, what you should do is like plan like a pit stop around where the superchargers are, which they're everywhere. So like, let's say you're going to get food. Plan it to where you need to charge while you're getting food, so that you're not just waiting for a long time, because it takes like 30 to 45 minutes to get like 80% charge. So like, it's not the most amount of time, but you do gotta wait a little bit. So plan take a potty break, get some food, walk around, take some pictures for social media. Like, just make a little, make a trip of it. Like, yeah, but it's not going to charge in 5 minutes. I live in Dallas, Texas, so it gets really hot, but not too cold. Yeah, if you live in Dallas, Texas, dude, yeah, like, you don't need the long-range Model 3. Definitely does, because it does not get that cold there. Even their coldest days are pretty warm for us Chicago people. Yeah. In fact, when I went to Dallas, we were supposed to meet up, but when I went there last year, it was like cold for them, and it was like 40 degrees, it was 55 or 60 degrees, which was cold for them. But yeah, it was kind of funny. So yeah, video's been around 35 minutes. I already went over, but any of you guys have any more questions about options or what I like position wise or anything before I wrap this up? Because I'm gonna move over to that computer and start editing. Just a huge favor for you guys, if you can hit the like button on some of my future videos, I think it'll help me get more exposure. So if you don't mind, that would be huge. I would really appreciate it. I don't know. I'm someone who forgets to like videos a lot. Sometimes I just, out of habit, I'll like the video right as I click it. But sometimes I forget. So I do appreciate sometimes when the person reminds me to like the video in the video, because sometimes I forget. So if you guys don't mind, that'd be pretty sweet. So yeah, any other questions before I wrap this up? We had like 11 people in here. That was pretty nice. Thank you. It's L. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers for $420 before 2020. I do think it could happen. I really do. Ronak Chicago 84. Thank you so much. I wonder if we live near each other and are the same age, because I was born in 84. Liked. Good to see you live stream again. Thanks, man. I want to do it more often now that I figured out how to do it, where I don't have old thumbnails because that was kind of embarrassing. But I'm going to try to do it more often. Definitely want to do them on Fridays because I think those are fun days to do them right around when the market closes. Today was a good day. We made a few grand today, so I was really stoked about that. Dude, Apple. I called Apple it was like 2 or 3 videos ago. I forget. No, it was like 4 or 5 videos ago. I can't remember. But when Apple was at $142 a share, I was like, man, they're so cheap. I should get some more. And I mentioned it, and I didn't do it. It's like $30 more expensive now. But yeah, I don't know. Did any of you guys jump on Apple when it went to the 140s? Because if you did, that was a pretty legendary move. If you did. Thanks for liking the stream too, by the way. Thank you guys. Any other videos you want to see me make, maybe? Like any ideas for a video you want to see me do? I do want to make, once I catch up, obviously, I want to make a video about vertical spreads because I want to try doing that this year. But I need to learn Thinkorswim a little bit more. But are there any other videos you want to see? It could be anything you want. Tesla-related videos, just stock-related videos. I do want to make a video on the covered calls I did in 2019 or 2018, like how much I made off of covered calls, because that's something that a lot of people don't know about who own stocks. That is a really easy way to make extra money. And a lot of people don't know about that, and so I kind of want to show you guys how much I actually made from covered calls in 2018. And I didn't even own stock for all of that year, so I wasn't selling them all the time, but I did sell it enough of the time, but it was a good amount, and so I was really happy with how that played out. Anything related to option strategies and our technical analysis. Yeah, I'm still learning myself on technical analysis. The one thing I definitely learned in 2018 was like to look at the charts just to kind of spot those obvious opportunities, like how I mentioned with Kronos Group. When you see a stock go vertical, just keeping an eye out for that is something that I'm learning to do more now that I wasn't doing last year. And hopefully I'm right. Like hopefully if Kronos can go down a little bit more, I'll consider that a success, because I did buy puts yesterday or 2 days ago. Wait, what's today? Tuesday? I think I bought puts Friday. No, mate, I did buy puts yesterday. So yeah, when Kronos went up a lot yesterday, I bought some puts, and I'm up on those. And so that was a good trade. And so I'm hoping that I can do that enough times to like really say, yes, this is a good strategy to make you a better trader. But I want to kind of test it out more first, just so that I'm not just talking about nonsense. But anyways, what about selling premiums versus buying options? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make a video about that. I do want to learn more about that first, but I do know some things that I can talk about, especially like right before earnings. And I'm gonna do a couple trades that'll test that theory, so it'll be good to see that. Okay, I wrote that down. Thank you. When are you going to start option, or when are you going to start option strategies? I'm not sure if I know what you mean by that. Like talking about option strategies? Because I talked about them in the past in terms of buying call options and selling covered calls. Those are like the two that I know how to do right now. I talked about Iron Condor way back in the day. Like in 2017, I talked about the Iron Condor and how that works. But I've never done that trade, so I haven't talked about it since then. It was one of my friends who did that trade and was teaching me about it. But that's a strategy you want to use where you want the stock to stay in a certain range and you make a profit when it does that. So there is that strategy. There is calendars I just was learning about. I got a pamphlet from TD Ameritrade in the mail that I read that article about that and butterfly, the butterfly trade, which both, again, you profit if the stock stays relatively flat. So I'm going to try to learn how to do those. And again, I want to learn how to do more strategies so I can talk about them. But yeah, so that's definitely my goal for 2019 is to, do that. Okay, so if you have any other ideas, though, just throw them in any comments on any video. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be this live stream. The video I upload tonight, for example, you can, if you think of anything, just throw them in the comments at any time, and I will definitely write them down and look to make those. So thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. I'm going to leave you guys here. I'm going to start editing, and so, yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for coming in. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. We will talk to you guys soon.